You live from wherever the heck Jeremy wants to bring it to you from. This is Live with 55. What is up, everybody? Welcome to a special Wednesday afternoon edition of Live with 55. I'm your host, Jeremy Wyman, joining y'all here for this evening. Gonna promote some stuff we got going on this week and then take some of y'all's questions and answers. And let's see. I tried to tell you, Antron. I tried to tell you, bro. Um, sorry. I always get messages and calls right when the show's starting. Mossy, oh, hello from Orlando. Man, you better get out of Orlando, Paul. Paul, get out of Orlando. Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. But shout out to our sponsor, Paul from Mossy Oak Properties, Heart Realty. We appreciate him hopping on here to say hello today. We got a condensed show for you tonight. It's Live 55. We're going to talk about what we got going on this week, of course, and whatever the hottest topics are y'all want to talk about here on that's going on this week so far before we get to our show Friday night, which is our preview show. And this Friday night, we're going to have a very special guest in here with us. So cannot wait for you all to tune in and talk cards with this former Cardinal, probably one of my favorite linebackers of all time at U of L. Very successful. I love all of his charitable work. Great dude. So just cannot wait to go live Friday night, 10:05 p.m. directly after SmackDown. We will be on here. It'll be me, Sean, Sam, Joey, and special guest host. So you all are slow getting in here today, and that's fine because it was not announced. But give us some questions, give us some stuff to talk about. The Mossy Oak Properties Heart Realty chat line is open. And let's see what we got going on here on social media. Mom's Kelly in the building. Hi, Mom's Kelly. Yep. Our guy Antron said, I should have listened to you, Jeremy. I remember you always talking about Whataburger. I had to try it, and you were right. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich was fire. Absolutely. Tony, what's good, man? Happy everybody's joining us here this afternoon for this impromptu. I'm going to try to do an impromptu show every week since we got the Sunday show at 1 p.m., the Friday night show at 10:05. I gotta turn this fan. This is every show the fan affects me. And something to give y'all something to listen to during the week because the Friday Sunday double hit's good, but sometimes things happen between Sunday and Friday. What's up, Tom? Tom Jeffries in the building. Max Tinsley, what's the latest on basketball recruiting? Great question. We'll go ahead and throw that up on the screen because I did want to talk about that a little bit once we get into things. I'm trying to let some more people get in here. Antron in the building, watching too. So you saw me shout you out too. That sandwich is on fire. What's good, Dwayne? So here's the latest on basketball recruiting. Okay, this is Pat Kelsey's first year. So do I expect him to run in and jump and get any of these guys that KP was recruiting or the rest of college basketball was recruiting for the last 2 years? I don't expect a lot of wins. And that's not anything negative against Pat Kelsey. That just means that a lot of these guys have longer relationships with prior people. Antron, I told you the sandwich was fire. And the one thing about Whataburger, you never get cold fries from Whataburger. They make those fries fresh for everybody as soon as you go in. How come Ben Perry isn't playing? Did he just get beat out for his position? One thing at a time. But so that's really the latest. You're going to hear some names in here. Oh, they picked this school over Louisville. That's not the case. I mean, they just didn't have very strong relationships with Pat Kelsey, the Tyran Stokes, the Green kid. Those are the guys that I would advise Card Nation to be looking for next year's class, the year after class. This year, I swear, this fan, I made the room too. I was complaining because the room was too hot. Had them put in a vent. Yeah. No knock at all on PK. Coach Kelsey has been amazing. He's been very friendly the couple times I've met him. Great dude, but he just doesn't have the relationship with these kids that a lot of the others do. There is one guy I want you all to look out for, and this isn't somebody that we necessarily are recruiting. I do know that the guys up at Rhode Island Elite, shout out to them. I've got a really good relationship with them. Let's see. I'm trying to find out the first. Let me see. You all keep asking questions. Well, anyway, they had that Isaiah kid that ended up going to NC State, and then I don't know what happened to him after that. But they had that kid Kelvin Odai that we just really got in on way too late. You know, Louisville they looked at Louisville very highly, but Louisville just didn't. Thank you. I appreciate it, Wes. I'm trying. We just didn't get it in on him quick enough, so I do not anticipate us. And he may have already made his decision. I didn't know, but here's a guy I want y'all to be on the lookout for. This is a guy we are talking to. His name is Adama Tembedo. That is on Twitter. He is at TAMBEDOU_34. And keep an eye on him. He's a guy that is I believe he's 25 as well. The 25 class. Let me go back in and look. Yeah. So let's see. 2026. Sorry, this kid, the Tambodeau dude is 2026. So I know that's a year away, but that's a name that I expect to hear on our radar, and that we have, that we're listening. Tony, I don't hate the noon start for Miami because I got a wedding to go to at 5:00, and I was it's my niece, and I was like, God, man, I either hope for noon or for 7:30. Had we not pooped down our leg the last 2 weeks, we may have got the primetime game. Robbie says, stop the yawning. I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying. Speaking of the hat, this is the new Cardinal Sports Zone hats. Yeah, Aaron. 10:05 p.m. on Friday night. I guess I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag, or the card out of the bag. This Friday night, we will be joined by Cardinal Forever Preston Brown. He'll be on here with us, and we'll talk about Virginia. We'll do the Virginia preview Friday night at 10:05, and then Sunday at 1 p.m. we'll go back. Let's see. Speaking of Preston, yes, okay. So I think he heard me talking about him. He texted. So yeah, it's going to be normally scheduled this week. We're going to be back on Friday and Monday. We just had some stuff come up. Well, the bye week, there was no need to do 2 shows, so we did the one in the middle. Then the next week, we had the show at Shoot 360. Shout out to Scotty and Blake and Dean and Peyton and Patience up there for letting us come out there. They have invited us to come back whenever we wanted, so that's something we will probably try to do on a. Yeah, I mean, Garrett's absolutely correct. A noon game just means biscuits and gravy in the morning. I can't wait to see Garrett's what's the word I'm looking for? His take on biscuits. What kind of biscuits do you make for Miami? Like, it can't be just basic biscuits, especially not with you, Garrett. You absolutely bougie out every single thing you do in a good way. Yeah, I love me some biscuits and gravy too. getting the top local basketball players still an issue. Singleton and Northwestern. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't call it an issue. I would say that kid had more of a repertoire with all these other coaches than he did with our coach. I mean, we cannot that's what really got us, and I'm guilty of it too, but got us um on the wrong path with KP because we just expected him to come in and land people right away. Sean expected him to land people right away, and under the cloud, that wasn't going to be possible. And then we get to look. There's a lot of stuff he said that aggravated people, but I don't think he came from a bad spot with a lot of that stuff. He really was a year behind on most stuff because of that cloud. That was a real thing. I talked to recruits, their parents. Um, Spent a lot of time with Trenton Flowers this past summer down in Orlando while we were on vacation, and a friend of mine was training him down there. And I heard a bunch of this stuff. So it is what it is. Cracker Barrel biscuits and gravy are fire. You know, the one place I've never tried biscuits and gravy from that my buddy Chris has been trying to get me to order them from is Biscuit Belly. I need to know if there's any Biscuit Belly fans in the house. But yeah, I'm not really the noon game. I'm okay, not just because I had plans that day, but I'm okay with it because we can get it done, get it over with, and depending on what Louisville team we see out there, we'll be able to enjoy the rest of the day. So I'm okay with that. I do understand though that a lot of people have kids and they have games during the morning, or people that love to tailgate do not get to. They have to get up early and this and that. There's several different variables. I don't necessarily hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. And Wes, yes, the hat is fire. It's the News Cardinal Sports Zone podcast hats, which have this version has the city outline in the CSE, unlike other versions. And then we have it in the red fitted, the red snapback. Didn't we almost have? We got it in the black, fitted and snapback. And then we have a special just CSZ for the website. So if you want a hat, let me know. They are $35 a piece. I do too, Tony. I love DQ's biscuits and gravy. Okay, I did not on my bingo card today was not do it live with 55. Talk about biscuits and gravy, but here we are, and I'm here for it. Got to try Maple Street Biscuit Company. Lex and Florence has locations. Okay, Christie's Cafe has the where I've heard of that, and I believe I've eaten there before, but I didn't think it was still open. Let's see, Cracker Barrel biscuits and gravy, one of my favorite. Cashmere, what's good, man? Yeah. So let's see what we got going on. The phone is going off as normal. Now live on your channel. We've been live. Thank you for the delayed email, YouTube. Yeah, I don't necessarily hate a noon kickoff. Obviously, if we were undefeated and playing Miami, I would be more of a man, we deserve a night game. But I feel like night games need to be earned. And we've kind of dropped the ball the last 2 weeks, literally and figuratively. And we've got the guy that can turn that around and fix it. It is 6:15 and I'm yawning, and the fan's off. Like, what the heck? So you'll have to let me know, Tom, where the Christie's Cafe is, because I believe I've heard of it. I think I ate there a long time ago. I'm not for sure, but it is what it is. Look, again, I want to go ahead and promote this. 10:05 Friday night, Virginia preview with all-time Cardinal great Preston Brown. He'll be on the show with us. I wonder if I could talk him into coming in. I mean, I know he's not here in Louisville. I'll just shoot him the link. I don't want to have to drive here just for an hour show and go back home. And then Sunday we will we will come to we'll come to you with our recap, and it should be a great time. Hoping to get Higgy and Dalton and Wes back on the show one day soon. I know that Wes normally does the Sunday shows. Haven't seen Higgy or Dalton in a while. Dalton's been busy doing his shows, which you'll see Friday around the ACC with DP. It is coming to you at noon on Friday. Yeah, see, I don't think that's there anymore. Is it? Then that's exactly what I. Yeah, Joe. Hey, little big brother, joining on the Facebook. Have a little Cuban flair. Okay, I knew it was going to be something like Cuban biscuits and gravy with maple oak, penny butter with nickel plated sausage balls or some stuff like that. Eating dinner. I have not ate dinner yet. I decided I was like, I have been bored all day long. I need to talk to my people. I need to talk to my people. I don't think that's there anymore. I think I drove by there the other day and it was gone. I could be wrong. I don't drive out there that often, but I was looking for it. Antron says, would love to hear Preston break down our linebacker play on these quarterback draws. And you're going to hear to that. All right, Aaron, I saw your question. I don't want you to think I ignored you. How do you feel? Do you think we come out better? Or do you think we play the same we have been? That's tough to know, not knowing who's going to be playing or not. I do believe that Quincy being out has been an issue on why we played spotty the last game and a half. But Devin leaving sure didn't help out any. I'm not sure what's going on with Ben Perry. I've seen him on the field. I know he's playing. I've seen him on the field. I would think, like, the thing we were sold on with Brom is that he was the king of preparation, right? And adjustments. So if he is who we think he is, then we should be okay with Virginia. Currently a 9-point favorite, 7 to 9 point favorite, depending on where you're at. And that's with we're probably technically a 12-point favorite. I think they give them 3 points just for being the home team. So college football, the odds makers still have faith that we should beat them. We don't play very well at Charlottesville. So I'm not really sure what went into the odds this time. Well, Tom, like I said, I drove by the other day and the place where I thought it used to be at was a Mexican restaurant now, which everything's either a Mexican restaurant or a Dollar General now. What the football team is doing now is nothing different than Brom's previous history. He will never be great, just really good. More than welcome to your opinion. I don't necessarily agree with that, but we allow you all to have. I mean, we don't allow it. Like, you are allowed, but have your own opinions. We're not going to argue with you. We're going to have a tactical and tasteful conversation about it. I don't agree with that. I think that him at Purdue and Western were different beasts. He's at Louisville now, so he just needs a little time to get acclimated. He had the talent last year. That first year, same thing with Coach Cooper's first year. He was left with Howard's talent and made a bowl game. John L made a bowl game with Coop's talent, and so on and so forth. Coach Petrino both the first time made a bowl with the prior coaches and Charlie Strong and so on and so forth. Even won ACC Coach of the Year his first year with the previous regime's players. So got to give him time. We cannot keep being kick out coach university. Got to give him time to coach at this level and recruit. I know people are going to be like, well, he coached the Big Ten. Yeah, but he coached at Purdue. He's that, which was a bottom tier team in the Big Ten. This is a top tier team in the ACC. Tony says, I have faith Brom will get his together or turned around. And I agree with you. I agree with that for sure. We were let know today that Tuesday is going to be Louisville Men's Basketball Media Day. So I'm looking forward to attending that and to getting you all some good video and pictures I think Jeff Nunn and Ben Gumble and Blake McCauley may be joining me from CardinalSportsZone.com for that. Atlanta in the house. Walter Hill, yeet, yeet, represent. No, I got to do it this way. His high school recruiting. Well, here's what I'll say about that. If you want to be the number one portal recruiter, you have to skimp on the high school recruiting. You can't have it both ways. And for me, I would much rather go after established. So you can either go out and get a kid who may or may not be good, or you can go out in the portal and grab a guy that had 100 tackles last year. Which one are you going to go after? I'm going to go after the guy that I know I'm going to have for 2 or 3 years, who's already got 100 tackles in a Power 5 league on a Power 5 team. So I may, and again, used to play football. I may have a different mind frame than others, but to me, I want to go get the established kids. Could the freshman kid be awesome? Yeah, he could be awesome, or he could be a bust. I know that this guy is going to be. I know that Ja'Cory Brooks is going to be awesome. I don't know that the freshmen that we brought in, if they're going to be awesome or not, because, well, mostly because we've got guys like Ja'Cory Brooks and Amari Huggins Bruce and Colin Lacey that are playing and kind of pushing those young kids down. But I don't know. I guess I'm just indifferent to that whole argument. We had that conversation earlier in the CSZ support group chat on Twitter, and of course the younger kids disagreed. The older the olds agreed the opposite direction. So I don't know. All I'm so what do we do to fix our O line? Aaron, great question. What do we do to fix our O line? You let me and Joey and Higgy play on it for the last. No, I don't know. Listen, I feel like we are just having difference of. I don't think our O line's has been horrible. Monroe Mills got injured. That was a big blow, but like for the first 3 games or 4 games, we didn't have a single turnover. But we lose the last 2 games, and it's our O line sucks. And I'll have to look this up, and I'll do that while we're on here because that's just what I do. But in our last 2 games, let's see, team stats. Here we go. Notre Dame sacked us, only had 3 sacks. And SMU sacked us 3 times. So for a whole game, 3 sacks, I don't think that's awful. I mean, I don't think it's great. But let's compare it to the other games. How many times did Georgia Tech sack us? 0. Okay, so a little bit of a difference. Austin Peay sacked us 2 times. So it's fallen in line, honestly. I hate to be Mr. Oh, it's sunshine, man. 0 sacks against Jacksonville State. Make sure tonight, and I believe it, I always say, let's see, 7 p.m. tonight, which is at the end of this hour, which I'm going to be done way before that. Make sure y'all tune into our guys, Ethan and Taylor, on ESPN 93.9 The Ville, 7 p.m. Louisville Sports Live, coming to you live at 7 p.m. They'll get way more into it than I'm getting into things today. But okay, tonight it's actually on at 8:00. It's following the Coach Brahms show. So I guess the Coach Brahms show at 7. Their questions tonight: is it really playoff or bust for our annual expectation? What can be done to expedite leaving L&N Stadium after the game? Great questions. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a retweet. So yeah, 7 p.m. Coach Brown radio show, 8 p.m. Louisville Sports Live. It's going to be a good time tonight, and I'm glad I was able to hop in on this. Let's see. Let's get back to the comments on the Mossy Oak Properties Heart Realty chat line. Tony Bowman says high school recruiting in the age of NIL. Yeah, we need high school kids, but have to portal. Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree. Aaron says, I don't think the O-line has sucked, but I wish Shuck had more time to throw. I mean, dude's been throwing beautiful dimes. He's been doing amazing the entire season so far. So you got to remember his first turnover of the season was a deflection interception that landed in the hands of one of our most surest receivers. And then poor guy got excited, got hawked down, and was forced to fumble. So I think he's had plenty of time. Again, I'm not trying to argue with everybody, but it is what it is. Walter says, I'm a little concerned about Quincy's injury, and it is possibly being his last season. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's back this week. I don't know if he is or not. And KD goes, Jay, I know Jeff is the local hero, and I respect your opinion. But if this had been any other coach, and I agree with that, because people were like this about Satterfield. People were like this about Bobby his second year. People were like this about every coach I ever remember here. So, excuse me, I don't know what's gotten into me today. I need to just. Mark Grivna has requested to follow you. Okay. My offensive lineman at Louisville, Mark Grivna. Appreciate him. You're good. Okay. So no, I don't think that Coach Brom is above scrutiny at all. I think there's a fine line between scrutiny, criticism, and telling him he needs to be fired. And I saw somebody today said they wish Jeff Brom would go stand on Tampa Bay tonight. And I just think that people are getting we have to, this is not even a full second season. We have to rally around our team. I know a lot of people are like, well, they get paid now, so they're not players anymore. They're employees. But like, that's not how kids work. That's not how this. It shouldn't anyway. Let's see. And of course, I apologize. I'm trying to. Let's see. Okay. So here's my thing. You're asking me about Quincy. Yeah, absolutely, Garrett. Let him cook. Coming from a cook, that makes sense. You would say let him cook. Again, the hats are $35. Just hit me up if you want one. Aaron says, hope to see Riley back soon. Is there any whispers at all? I believe we'll see him back this weekend. I haven't been told anything by any of the coaches or family members to the opposite. I truly believe he was just resting last week to make sure it didn't turn into a bigger deal. But that is all I can tell you at this point. But yeah, KD, absolutely. I know. But here's the thing. We have the opportunity to change the course. Social media has made everything so negative, right? We are in a position to ignore the hatred on social media, spread our positivity, and turn this all around. People tune into this show because they know that I'm positive, I'm fair, I'm critical, but I'm fair, which I already said that once, but I'll say it again. We've seen just how toxic fans and radio media can be around here. Absolutely. No, for sure. For sure. Let me throw that comment up on the screen while we're talking. That's for sure. And listen, I promised everybody once KP was fired that I wasn't going to bring him up anymore, because everybody knows that he was a friend of the family. Everybody knows that that I had a personal relationship with him. So maybe some of my thoughts, not all of them, and not even a lot of them, but some of my thoughts may have been a little biased because I know him, the person, and thought that he was going to handle things differently, and he didn't. But I absolutely think he was treated unfairly by the like the and especially when a lot of the radio media, right? They had personal ties with the staff and knew that KP was having trouble that first year because of the black cloud, but they wanted to exploit it anyway. I'm getting off that topic. Pat Kelsey's our coach now. KP is down there slobbering hog with the Arkansas. So Aaron says some social media is insane. Keyboard warriors are at an all-time high, and that's another problem because they are keyboard warriors, and if you were to be like, well, just meet me somewhere, well, then they're coming with a gun and they're going to shoot you. So it's like a lose-lose situation. When back in, gosh, man, I almost sounded like an old person for the first time back in the day. Back when I was growing up, you didn't need nothing. You didn't need nothing but these, and you walked to school in the snow both ways. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Dad, the stories he told us. But no, it's like you can't even. You block somebody and then they create a burner account 5 seconds later. Shout out to the rummages who are down in Panama City Beach, Florida, hanging out on the beach. No sign of danger. No sign of clouds or rain. That tornado shifted just enough to where, the hurricane shifted just enough to where they didn't have to worry about anything at all, not even any rain. So that's good. Glad they're having a good time without me. Let's see. Anything else before we cut this off? Already went a little bit longer than I wanted to go tonight. Y'all have any if y'all have any final questions, go ahead and shoot them to me real quick as I let's see. Where's it at? Here we go. Walter, great question. I'll get to that in just a second. Make sure you're out there supporting all of our photographers. Jeff Nunn has put out 2 phenomenal photo galleries for Louisville Live and SMU. Go check them out at cardinalsportzone.com, the place that all began. Shout out to our sponsor, Mossy Oak Property. Shout out to our sponsors, Rally House. And shout out to our sponsors out at Shoot 360 for Live with 55. Tune into our regular show Friday nights at 10:05 and Sunday at 1 p.m. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube to be alerted anytime we go live, like you did today. We didn't advertise this at all. We appreciate you all. For sponsorship opportunities, you can check it out in the bottom left hand of the screen. It'll tell you how you can email me and we can set something up. If you haven't listened to any of the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, you can go back, check them all out. cardinalsportzone.com podcast drop down menu. They're all there. Shout out to everybody that's out there that's sharing the podcast. We appreciate and love you guys. Shout out to the 502 Circle around the ACC with DP Friday at noon. Can't wait to talk to you all Friday to preview Virginia with Preston and to talk about what's going on in the world of the cards. Last questions. I'm just curious of your opinion of Gelati. He's played this season. I've heard a lot of people be very critical of him, and it's been very, very unfair. Trust me, as somebody who's got a football mind, and I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm not MJF. I'm not better than you, and you know it. But you look at things differently. A lot of fans look at the fact, well, Ashton's not got a lot of tackles. He's not got a lot of this or that. When I watch the game, I see him double and triple teamed every game. How in the are you supposed to get a tackle or a sack when you've got 2 or 3 dudes hanging off your jock the whole game? I don't have any issues with his effort or how he's playing the game. That just tells me that the people around him need to step up a little bit. I know we've had some injuries. Dez has been injured. Ashton plays a lot better when Dez is in that lineup. So I don't have any issues with Ashton and his play. KD says, "Well, I like you. Don't take it personal like some others." No, because at the end of the day, I'm choosing to talk to you all about sports. So I have to take your all's opinions, even if I don't think they're right, and I'll spin them back. And I'm not trying to change your mind. If you change your mind, cool. If you don't, well, then we just disagree. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of immaturity in the game. So I'll leave it at that. There's a lot of people that take things personally that really shouldn't. I hope see Destel this week. I missed him last game. I missed him too. So, well, look, guys, it's been a great show. I appreciate everybody tuning in. This is a great turnout for an impromptu show at 6:00 in the evening. I love you guys and appreciate you guys. I'm going to hop off here for now and grab some dinner and wait for my beautiful wife to get home. So I appreciate you all. Until next time, this has been Live with 55, a subsidiary of the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast Network. Bye. Bye.
So